Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a box that's still kicking around. Opera in English, The Goodall Ring. Yes, Reginald Goodall does the ring. Oh my, here it all is. In English. Oh, with Andrew Porter's actually excellent translation of the German text. Usually, amazingly audible. And these Chandos productions, I have to say, if you want to get it in English, this is phenomenal because it still comes in this large box, I checked, with librettos and booklets, and it's just wonderful. But we're going to go through it. There is some great singing in here. The problem, of course, is Reginald Goodall, who was, for the most part, a perfectly dreadful conductor. He was a rehearsal accompanist who was a Wagner freak. And, he made one unambiguously great recording, which is the Tristan and Isolde, with, I think, Welsh National Opera, which somehow worked out. He woke up for it. The singing is fresh. It's a magnificent performance of Tristan. It really is. Maybe we'll talk about that separately one of these days. But in the meantime, this was originally on EMI. It was sponsored by the Peter Moores Foundation. Then Chandos got a hold of it and remastered it and did improve the sound somewhat. And it's still around. And I'm proud of them for keeping it still around, even if it isn't great. Probably the weakest performance is the first one, Das Rheingold, which just takes forever. Levine also did a rather slow and droopy Rheingold in his recorded as opposed to video performance of The Ring from the Met, which was kind of shocking. But, the singing is not bad. The best characters are Fasolt and Fafner in this particular thing. Who's doing Alberich here? Alberich is... Where's Alberich? Oh, there he is. Oh, Derek Hammond Stroud. There's a reason we don't really know who Derek Hammond Stroud is, because his Alberich is not too Alberichy. But it has its moments. It just drags. It drags and drags and drags. And it's live, and you've got all the... the audiences are generally really good, and it's not too much of an issue, but you don't have the major singing roles in Rheingold. Rheingold is an ensemble piece, and it's a conductor's piece. The conductor has to really wield it together, and Goodall was such a flabby, uninteresting conductor for the most part. Every so often he finds some detail or something that's interesting to him, but most of the time he's just along for the ride. And the singers do not push hard enough. They need it to just go faster. So, okay, Rheingold's not swell. But you do understand a lot of what they're singing about, which is a good thing. Next we get Valkyrie, because it's in English. And now we get some of the really hot singers, particularly Alberto Remedios as Sigmund and Rita Hunter. Rita Hunter as Brunhilde. It was a fabulous Brunhilde. She is fresh and charming and girlish and exciting, and she has a thrilling voice, and really Remedios is tremendous as Sigmund, and you really understand what they're singing about. It's kind of remarkable. And Anne Howard is Fricka. She's a very fine mezzo/alto. She's throughout this thing. Norman Bailey's Wotan is a little bit, I think, dry vocally, but he's into it. And so this isn't bad. Clifford Grant is okay as Hunding. It just, again, and then let's see if Margaret Curfey is Sieglinde, who could be a little bit more opulent, and she doesn't scream enough, but that's okay. The bottom line is that again, it just hangs fire in so many passages. And you understand, you let me put it to you this way. In quieter sections where there's a lot of conversation and you could really understand the text, you don't really care about tempo because you're actually understanding the text. But even, the Todes Verkündigung thing, the Annunciation of Death. That's right, I can't do it in German, can I? The Annunciation of Death scene. You're wondering why they're wasting so much time. It's an annunciation of death. Announce it and then move. Go. Do things. And the whole Wotan's last monologue is just, oh my goodness. Oh, Brunhilde, I'm so disappointed in you. In fact, I'm going to tell you how disappointed I am in you. And I'm going to keep telling you how disappointed I am in you. And by the way, did I tell you how disappointed I am in you? That's what you start thinking towards the end. It's like, put her to sleep already. Quick, put her to sleep. Okay. So that's the Valkyrie. Then we've got Siegfried. Now, Siegfried, as we all know, is the droopiest and dullest of all the Ring operas, which is why it's the most exciting performance here. It's really pretty good. I mean, it really is. It isn't like, it's Knappertsbusch-ian. It doesn't fly by, but it doesn't dawdle particularly. And like I said, you really hear the words. And Remedios is a great Siegfried. He really is. You've got Derek Hammond Stroud is back as Alberich. Norman Bailey, of course, who's doing a good job as Wotan. It really is kind of amazing how it helps to have a cast that really work together, because you get that. You get the give and take in the conversational passages, and they're in English. And so for that purpose, it's really worthwhile to hear it if you're an English speaker and you're curious about it in English. And of course, Ann Collins is a very good Erda. The prelude to Act 3 is a snooze fest. I mean, come on, Goodall. I mean, it's just this huge, exciting, tremendous buildup with a thunder machine at the climax. And it's like, Goodall is just so flabby. I mean, he never met an accent that he could deal with. I mean, it's really a shame. But then, the final scene is wonderful with Remedios and Rita Hunter. They're really into it. Oh, Brunhilde, you're so lovely. I know it. I can't help it. They're just, and you hear all those words, every bit of them. So that's really great. And then we come to the final slog. Götterdämmerung, the Twilight of the Gods. Yes, the Twilight of the Gods. This is a twilight in, winter in Antarctica. It's like permanent twilight. 6 months of twilight here. It's 5 discs. Yes, five discs. It lasts, a good solid 5 hours or more. I mean, it's just endless. Despite some really, really good singing. Again, we talked about the singers. They're all the same people. I mean, Agge Haugland, there he is. It's a very good Hagen, actually, in this thing, and in this particular one. And you've got, let's see, who else? The Three Norns. Oh, the Three Norns have Gillian Knight and Anne Evans and the Valkyries, the Rhine Maidens, pardon me, Valerie Masterson and some other people like that. I mean, there's some really good singers in here. There really are, but I just find, it's more of the same, a lot more of the same, and that is the problem. So I'm not going to belabor it. This is going to be a relatively short video about an incredibly long opera in an even incredibly longer performance. However, with all that said, this is one of those sets that you collect, and you can't really dismiss it because of the marvelous singing from some of the cast. You have to give Goodall credit because he prepared the production and he prepared the singers. So it's not, he's not, the stuff that he did well, which is rehearsing and repetitoring, which is what he did well. It's just as a conductor that he doesn't do so well. But it was his legacy, and here it is in a big cube, and I'm happy that it's available. I'm happy to have it. Every so often I dip into it, more for scenes than for complete operas, and it's fun. It's fun to listen to. What can I tell you? I enjoy it. Do I get that ultimate transmogrifying Wagnerian transcendental orgasmic nirvana-like experience from it? No. It's just too soggy for that. But it's an occasion. It's an event. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.